like you apologize for my life.
A tale of an angry god, hell-bent on ending the world, and a rebellious angel who turned quite a few heads. The movie Legion from 2010 takes us to a dystopian time where even God has lost hope in humanity and ordered the angels to wipe humanity from existence. In the movie and in the subsequent series named Dominion, the angels are separated into 4 different categories: lower angels, higher angels, power, and archangels. The lower angels, also known as the dogs of heaven, or 8 balls when they possess humans, are in the lowest sphere of heaven, furthest from the light of God. They serve as foot soldiers to the higher angels. Unlike the higher angels, the lower angels' duties were so insignificant that they were not given their own bodies when they were created, and remained as disembodied spirits. Lacking a body, they must take forcible possession of living human bodies in order to exist on Earth. Those possessed by a lower angel are called 8 balls, or the possessed. As the weakest class in the celestial chain, higher angels, such as Gabriel, can easily overpower them, and even possess these low angels. It is shown that archangels are able to cast higher angels out of their body, making them disembodied spirits, gaining the title of lower angels. The lower angels were created as menial workforce under the command of the powers and archangels. Their responsibilities were of little significance, and they were seen as mere laborers and servants by the higher angels, who often treated them harshly. When God left heaven, the lower angels were left leaderless, fatherless, and frightened. Without guidance, the lower angels sided with Gabriel and held humanity responsible. Gabriel convinced the lower angels of humanity's guilt, and they grew to hate and envy humanity as Gabriel did. With the dogs of heaven at his side, Gabriel swept hordes across the globe, pushing humanity to the very edge of extinction. In their spiritual form, lower angels appear as disembodied heads made up of white light. When a lower angel steals the body of a human, you can immediately tell that it is not human. 8 balls took human bodies, but do not know how to fully operate them. 8-ball movements often appear as though someone is puppeteering the body. Possession by a lower angel invariably causes a full black hyphema, making the eyes look black. They may hide this effect by wearing sunglasses. These creatures have black, spider-like veins on their skin, although some of them utilize various cosmetics in order to hide this condition. In addition to their increased strength, the possessed have sharp, jagged, blackened teeth sufficient to tear out a human's throat. Lower angels are the weakest of all angels in relation to physical strength and supernatural ability, but they do possess some abilities that make them a force to be reckoned with. When they possess a human, their bodies do not age once possessed. Although they are the physically weakest of angels, lower angels possess enough increased strength that they can leap unnatural distances and lift objects far beyond the limits of human strength. When possessed, they can imitate perfectly the voice of another human and can also smell humans from a distance far away. Additionally, the lower angels have been known to climb walls with their bare hands. Higher angels are the upper class of angelic beings, more powerful than the lower angels. The higher angels were granted corporal bodies when they were created, which are superior to human bodies, immortal, more resistant to damage, and have wings. The powers are the second sphere of angels. Created as warriors to keep the lower angels in line, the powers were granted corporeal bodies to distinguish them from their lesser brethren and to perform their duties on earth. The powers answered the archangels. Archangels are the first order of angels. They answer directly to God and serve as the leaders and generals of the heavenly host, with dominion over all lower angels as well as higher angels such as the powers. Archangels are one of the higher classes of angels that were granted human bodies of their own to distinguish them from their lower brethren and to better allow them to perform their duties on earth. As such, they resemble humans in all ways but for their great strength and enormous feathery wings that unfurl from their upper backs. Brothers Michael and Gabriel are the highest-ranking angels known to have been engaged in the extermination war. The first archangel, Lucifer, was created alone, while the other 4 were created in pairs, Uriel and Raphael, and Michael and Gabriel. As previously stated, God wanted all humans dead, and all the angels obliged to these orders except for one. But what exactly were the motives of angels and Legion, and how they were slowly ending the human race in the movie? So, make sure to keep watching this video to find it all out. Legion was quite a revolutionary work back in 2010 because we got to see Gabriel, Michael, and swarms of angels saving and ending the human race simultaneously. But the highlight of the movie was always the angels, especially because of the terrifying way in which they possessed their victims. When God ordered his angels to end the human race, it was because God didn't want to see them harming each other anymore. However, God didn't really need to wipe humans off existence himself, as he had other choices too, but this one just seemed a little easier. Following his command, most angels obliged and bowed down to God's command and attacked Earth so they could end the humans. However, the Archangel Michael wasn't on board with all this. He actually went against God's commands and indulged in the act of rebellion. The motive behind Michael's rebelling against God was quite straightforward. He bowed down to humans when they were first created, so he still had a lot of faith in humanity, and he didn't just want to kill all humans because God can't deal with what he created. Nevertheless, the motives of other angels were quite different. They were helpless in front of their creator's commands, and they rushed down to Earth as soon as they received the order to end humans. They knew that if any of them were to disobey God, they would have to face his wrath. So, they did what was ordered to do because, for them, God's command is their will. However, it is often said that angels don't have free will. This seems contradictory as we can see in the movie that Michael initiated a fully fledged rebellion against God. It suggests that he as an archangel had his free will and he used it. But the other angels were either too afraid or too loyal to God to even try to contradict his will. Some angels even thought that it was a fair decision, and God had the right to end humans as he was the one who created them. However, Michael didn't think so, and he sacrificed his status as an archangel just so he could save humanity. The movie starts off with Michael sacrificing his wings and falling to Earth. At this point, he had the ability to fly, but as he rejected his wings, he became immortal. As the movie progresses, we get to see angels taking the role of villains or monsters as they possess humans and destroy everything. Some people say that these angels are actually evil, but they are not to be blamed, as they're simply following their creator's orders. In the universe where this movie takes place, it is often said that the cases of demonic possession are often caused by lower angels. With this in mind, the idea of lower angels possessing human bodies comes from the ideology that there are no demons in the world, and most mischievous works are usually carried out by lower angels. And the task of carrying out an apocalypse was obviously given to these angels because they're well versed on how to do it. As the movie progresses, we can see that the angels' target is not only to obliterate the human race, but also to prevent the birth of a child. This child is supposed to be the Messiah who will save the world and stop the apocalypse. As this child has divine origins, the angels can't really harm him directly, so they attack the diner by using different ways so they could stop the birth, or at the very least, kill the mother so there's no child to be born. Even after the child is born, the Archangel Gabriel attacks the diner so that he could take the child to heaven with him, as this world is way too corrupt for the child. This makes Michael take it upon himself to protect the child at any cost. Even after Gabriel killed him, he continued to help Jeep protect the baby, as the infant was the only hope of the human race. A lot of people ask the question, why did God have to send angels to kill humans one by one? As he could have just hit the earth with a meteor, or when he terminated humanity before with water, like the Old Testament relates, when he flooded the earth. Although, there's a perfect justification for it. As humans are a lot more advanced now, there's a chance that they could deflect a meteor or make floating arcs, and an Armageddon where angels take over the bodies of humans was something that humans never really experienced before, so it does sound like a new but very inefficient way to end a cruel world. Whatever the motives of God were in the movie, he chose his angels to carry out his plan, and they did it. Nevertheless, the Archangel Michael turned out to be their biggest obstacle when ending the baby. A lot of people also wonder why Michael had to cut his wings down and become mortal, as it became harder for him to fight the angels and save humans. He was obviously very capable of rebellion, even while he was an angel, so why did he not just stay that way? This can be explained in the scene where he cuts his wings, as once he does this, the collar in his neck unlocks and falls to the ground, suggesting that this collar does not allow him to rebel against his creator for some unknown reason. Additionally, when he comes back from death, he can be seen wearing it again, demonstrating that he is under God's command once again. According to the directors, the collar on Michael's neck is a lot like a tracker, and other angels could quite easily find him if he keeps wearing it. There is also another question that is quite often asked, and is why didn't the angels really try to possess the people who were inside the diner, as it would have been easier for them to end the child. Although this could be an easy solution to their problems, it is hinted in the movie that these angels only possess those who have a weaker will, and those with stronger will don't have to worry about angelical possession. This seems to be the case for the people inside the diner who were constantly risking their lives for each other and showing acts of bravery, allowing them to be safe from the possession of angels.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to comment and give me your ideas about topics for new videos. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.